Hey, I know things can get really overwhelming when you're struggling to pay your bills, and it feels like everything is piling up. Trust me, you're definitely not alone in this. A lot of people are in the same boat, but here's the thing. There are steps you can take right now to start getting back on track. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do if you can't pay your bills. And by the end, you'll feel way more empowered to take action. Stick with me because I've got some really practical tips that could actually turn your financial situation around. All right, first thing first, don't ignore the problem. I know it's tempting to avoid looking at your bills because it's just too much. But trust me, facing it head on is the only way out. Take a deep breath and just acknowledge where you're at. It's tough, but it's not permanent. Grab a pen and paper, write down every bill you owe, and then organize them by due date and priority. For example, which bills are absolutely essential, like rent or utilities, and which one can wait, like credit cards or subscriptions? Getting clear on this will make everything feel a lot more manageable. Ready to move on? Let's talk about what to do next. One of the biggest mistakes people make is avoiding their creditors. But here's the thing. Creditors want to get paid, yes. But they also understand things happen. If you reach out early, they're often willing to work with you. They might offer you a payment plan, extend your deadline, or even reduce your payments temporarily. The key here is communication. When you call or message them, be honest, calm, and upfront about your situation. Ask if they have any programs to help during tough times. The earlier you reach out, the more option you'll have. Got it? Now let's move on to cutting back on your spending. So next up, you need to seriously look at where your money is going. It might feel like a sacrifice, but cutting back on things you don't really need can free up cash to cover your essentials. Check your bank statement. What subscription are you paying for that you haven't used in ages? Maybe it's Netflix, a magazine, a gym membership you don't even go to anymore. Cut those out. Also, think about scaling back on things like dining out or shopping for non-essentials. I promise it's worth it. You'll feel a lot more in control, but what if there still isn't enough to cover everything? Let's dive into that next. Now that you've cut some of the expenses, it's time to prioritize your bills. The key here is paying the bills that are absolutely essentials first. Stuff like rent, utilities, and transportation. These are the ones you need to keep things running. Anything else like credit card payments or personal loans can wait a bit longer, if need be. So start by paying your most important bills first, then work your way down the list. And if you can't pay everything in full, that's okay. Just make sure you're paying the most important ones. But what if your income still ain't enough? Let's talk about that. Sometimes you might need to buy yourself some time. And that's where things like debt consolidation or loans come into play. With debt consolidation, you combine your high interest debt into one lower interest payment, which can make your monthly payments a lot more manageable. Or if needed, you could take out a small personal loan to cover some of your bills, but only if you understand the terms and interest rates. Loans can help in short term, but be careful because they could create more stress down the line if you're not careful. Now, if that doesn't sound right for you, don't worry. We've got another option to explore. If things are really tight, you can check out government assistance program. Things like unemployment benefits, food assistance, or energy assistance can help lighten the load of your monthly expenses. And don't forget about local nonprofits or community organizations. They might offer help with rent, utilities, or food. I know it might feel weird asking for help, but these programs are there for a reason. They're designed to get you back on your feet. Once you're stable, you can focus on improving your finances in the long term. But how do you avoid this in the future? Let's talk about that. Once you've handled the immediate situation, it's time to start planning for the future. The best way to make sure you're never in this position again is to start building an emergency fund. I know it sounds tough, But even saving just $10 a week adds up over time. That cushion will make it easier to handle unexpected expenses without stressing out. Track your income and expenses every month. A solid budget will keep you from living paycheck to paycheck and help prevent this kind of financial strain in the future. Stick to it. Save what you can and have a backup plan for when life throws you a curveball. Trust me, it's totally worth it. So now that you're able to pay your debt, watch this next video to start building your wealth from scratch.